Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, look, you're in front of your paintings. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice backdrop, huh?
How was your how was your week?
It was okay. I was in the city with a bit of
Yes.
a shock, but it was all right. My doctor gave me a clean bill of health. I
Good.
can go
Yes.
in, I can take a bath, I can do whatever I want to do, but I should keep on doing my physical therapy. So that's
Absolutely.
all good. I reconnected with some of my colleagues at work, and that was good. And I felt good about that. It was a
Yes.
short week because of the holiday,
Yeah.
so I'll go back
When
next.
did you wait? When did you go in and did you like
I
how
went on. I went in Tuesday afternoon, and I came back on Thursday afternoon. So
right.
really, I was in the office a couple of days. So
Yeah. How is
so
everything? How is everything at the office? How is everyone?
it's fine. It's quiet. It's very quiet at the moment. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, people are coming and going, and we don't have an exhibition on. We're working on future shows and
Hmm.
planning that, and that's all going pretty well. um I wanted to go back to the lyrics of the song we were talking about,
Oh yeah.
the, the Billy Joel song,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
rather than
Yeah. We didn't start
because
the fire.
I listened to it. Okay,
Yes.
what are they called? The
Fallout Boy.
Fall Out Boy. Okay, so I listened to it, and I thought it was pretty good. I mean,
Hmm.
then I realized I didn't catch all the lyrics, obviously, because you don't,
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I went online to look at the lyrics, right?
Okay.
And when I went online to look at the lyrics, I saw quite a lot of critical commentary about. There seemed to be people who didn't like it for a number of reasons,
Sure. Sure.
and one of them being chronology, that it
Oh,
wasn't.
that bugged me, and I love them, but yeah, because
Yeah,
the original song was very specific that it worked decade by decade, and they just mixed it up. But I think they did that on purpose, and I think this century
yeah,
so far, if we're only 23 years into this century, feels that way. It feels mixed up in a way the 20th century felt chronological. And this is just me processing out loud because I that was one of my original concerns as well. Or
I wasn't. I didn't. I mean, when I compared the lyrics, it seemed to me that um yeah, they're not. I mean, Billy Joel is actually quite. He's an amazing lyricist. I mean, he's written
yes,
some. He can write songs like
yes,
Lennon McCartney and
yes,
maybe Bernie Taupin. So
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's an exception. Um, I think they did a pretty good job, and they said themselves, we didn't cover everything. We didn't cover
Right.
COVID. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it was, to me, it was more like an homage
Yes,
rather than an attempt to update it.
yeah.
And then I read another interview with Billy Joel. He's actually quite critical about his own work because
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
he said, that's the only song that I wrote the lyrics for before I wrote the music.
Huh.
He
Oh,
said,
that makes
and he
sense. Yeah,
said,
yeah.
he said the music is really annoying. It's like a mosquito buzzing around your
It's
head.
very no, and I can play that song on the guitar. It is, and I play. My style tends to be very repetitive, but even for me, it's very just the same. Yeah, it's it. I mean, because it's, yeah, it's. I mean, it's well, it's a very rhythmic song. No, I love the original. Yeah, I think no. Okay, if I final I accept the way they mix it up. I like I said with the chronology. I wish they had been a little bit cleverer. I think they could have connected, for instance, like George Bush to QAnon. Like I think they if you're gonna mix it all up, I think you could have actually but they
Yeah,
did it more like
there's a lot. There's a lot you can do.
yeah, yeah.
There's actually been going on for years, but on the New Year's issue of the New Yorker,
Mm-hmm.
there's a guy that writes a very long poem
Yes.
that covers
Yeah.
everybody and thing,
Yeah.
and obviously spends a lot of time at it so that you can make it rhyme and funny and you can hit, but
Yes.
it's a lot of work. I
Sure.
mean, it's
Sure.
so so tell me about the Coke in the White House.
Oh, it wasn't me. No, no, I don't. I mean, well, Hunter
I
Biden.
know who it was.
What it was? Who was it? Yeah.
A member of the Republican National Committee. It's
Oh,
a
no, I'm not
it's
going to go there. I mean,
haunted. It's like in a locker room for special guests. I mean, it's not in somebody's desk.
right,
It's like anybody could have put it there
I mean,
in a
all right.
nice little
Here's my
bag.
thing. And again, I think, I think George W. Bush admitted to doing coke when he was in college. That's fine. I don't even care. That's not why I think he was a bad president or whatever. Obama admitted to smoking pot. I don't think I care anymore. I don't think anyone cares. I think you only care if it's serves your divisive politics, but no one really cares. I think everyone, Republican, Democrat, whatever, has a nephew or a cousin or someone who has had the fentanyl.
Sure. I think all of the talking heads on TV that went on and on and on and on about this were probably on coke while they were going on and on about it. So
Right. I mean, no, I'll be honest, and this is interesting to me, and I'm torn on this. So Santa Fe, New Mexico, the prosecutors, Alec Baldwin, dropped charges for the this is the movie shoot, but
Russ,
the
yeah.
armorer, she's now been charged, and they're specifically saying she passed off cocaine to someone else after the accident, before the police showed up, that she was out partying the night before. And I know people who work in the movie industry in New Mexico. All of this sounds in line with how movies are made, even union movies in New Mexico, that, yeah, you go out
Yeah.
partying. And so if someone died because she was high, then I actually do. I do believe it was malicious prosecution for Alec Baldwin, because I don't think, at the end of the day, even if he pulled the trigger, I don't think,
Yeah,
someone,
it's not his
it's not
responsibility.
his responsibility. But if that armorer made a mistake because she was high, then go to jail. Then I mean, then I'm actually, so as far as like cocaine being found somewhere, I don't care who cares. This is industry. Cocaine is found everywhere. Cocaine is found on 25% of the money tested in the United States. Test positive for cocaine, something like that, like cash money. Like, cocaine is whatever. I'm not saying like cocaine is everywhere, whatever, but I'm saying,
No, I agree with you. I think I'm just amazed at the how much it was seized on by the media, over and over and over again. They had maps of the White House and X's and
and
no,
like,
I
I
mean
mean, 3D, like, like
it's
people
like
like spent
Monopoly or I don't
hours
know.
on this. Yes, and I mean, Fox had a whole news cycle about, well, we confirmed that Hunter Biden was there after it was found. After, is he a time traveler? What are you suggesting? Like, I don't.
Oh, he went to collect it, and
uh,
his
yeah.
whatever his dealer had left it there for him. Obviously, it's the easiest place
It
for
was
him.
it was passed on. They used the White House because the White House is, with all its cameras, and but it's the best place to hold your. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. That being said, though, someone made the indiscriminate choice to bring cocaine into the White House, and that it does say something about our society, but not the Bidens, not Democrats, not.
No,
I mean, but it
no.
does say something about our society, which is interesting. But again,
Or somebody knowing that they shouldn't take it into the White House
again,
and to pick it up on their way out.
oh,
Right?
well, no, that's true, because it was found in like a cubby.
Yeah, they put it in the cubby. Fair enough,
Someone
right?
walked in realizing, yeah, no, that's actually the most likely scenario, is someone was like, oh crap, like,
And
yeah,
then when they were in the White House, somebody
okay.
offered them some, so they got stoned, and then they forgot to pick up their own stash on the way out. Maybe I don't know.
I have no idea.
Interesting
Yeah,
story.
yeah. What else? What? Oh, how is so the air quality was not so great earlier this week in New York, but I mean it's
I didn't notice that.
okay. No, okay.
No,
So it
I
wasn't
think
like
Chicago, I think
yeah,
the Midwest was the worst.
yeah. And then
We
now the
haven't
thing
had
they're
any,
saying that I didn't even think about is after fireworks, because all of that is particulate matter too. All of that is so I take my dog out. He doesn't like the noise of the fireworks, but the more
right.
he connects it with the visuals, the less scared he gets. So I take him out and try and like it's kind of like exposure therapy. But he was like horking and horking, and then I realized the next day I shouldn't have done that. Like that, like it's like
It was the, yeah,
yeah, the breathing. And so they say it's actually like it actually raises like the air level quality or well into the red zone for I'm
there
all
was
for
more
drones.
money spent on fireworks this year than ever before.
Is that
I'm
true?
like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
more than 2019. They said it
People
was like
really, I mean, in my neighborhood, I mean, people
a
really went
billion,
out.
$2 billion a year. I guess they're municipalities mostly, but
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, and I'm sure the same company that make them make weapons, make, I mean, actual explosives probably. I don't know. Um,
oh yeah,
but no, I mean, in my neighborhood, I've come to just accept it. It's people, they do it in their own backyards, they're enjoying themselves. If you don't like it, move because it's part of this neighborhood.
yeah,
I like fireworks, but my dog doesn't, so that makes me not like them.
right.
I mean, I think like the main things like the city of Seattle and whatnot, should move to drones. I mean, I think that those shows are amazing and they're environmentally sensitive.
Yeah. I have never seen a drone show, but I can imagine they can do the same thing
I've
with
seen them.
bikes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they're reusable. So
Okay, two questions about your mayor. All right, Mayor Adams splashed coffee on a photo of
yeah,
a.
this is good. This is really good. Now, I was mentioning this to someone the other day because first of all, the Times is not going to they're not going to run that story unless they really, really have spoken to the person who actually was told to do it. And I
hmm
believe
hmm
they did speak to the person who was told to doctor the photograph.
hmm
So, I mean, Adams is increasingly coming across as a kind of I don't know, he's a high maintenance George Santos. I mean, because he can't. It seems to me that he may be perfectly competent in some respects.
Yeah,
He can't resist the opportunity to move into dramatics
yes.
or some kind of look at me. In other words,
hmm well, okay, here's my thing. And okay, so my original thing was I thought he was a Republican. He ran as a Democrat, and I don't think he's a fake Democrat. I think RFK Jr. is a fake Democrat. I mean, I look at his politics, look at his beliefs. I don't believe he can call himself a Democrat, but I don't think he is. I think Adams has shifted. I think he's a centrist, a moderate. His politics I'm fine with, but I think as far as his ability to, yeah, no, as being a fabulist, he's a cop, and I think they're trained that way. They're trained to engineer words to mean what you want them to mean. It's literally in their training, and then I mean it's like then you blame them for being deceitful, but that's what they do. It's what they do on the stand, it's what they do in their reports, it's what they do
yeah,
in
that's
the
a good
police
point.
academy because it's how they're trained to like take A and make it say B because it's what you want or need it to. And that's yeah, it's what he's going to do. It's just who he is. It's
It's
he
a very
became the
good. Also, I mean, it's a very good. If he hadn't been caught at it, it's a very good story. I mean, it's
yeah, yeah, yeah. But you
right.
become top cop doing that really, really well. I mean, Carmen Best, who really did horrible, horrible things for Seattle and then just retired, collected her retirement, and went to go work for Microsoft for $500,000 a year as a private
Right.
security consultant. But she, I mean, lies upon lies upon lies upon lies upon lies. But and no one, I mean, and you can be called out on it, but I mean, this is our modern reality where you can be called out on it real time, and the journalists just pat themselves on the back for fact checking you, but it doesn't go anywhere. Like people don't. There's no accountability. I don't know. I don't know.
The other thing that didn't get so much attention, but I
Mm-hmm.
think is very telling,
Mm-hmm.
and I know about this because only because of a parent, a fellow parent at Beatrice's school a long time ago, like third or fourth grade,
Mm-hmm.
who had been the head of the he was the head of the probation service in New York. Very nice guy. He's a former cop,
Sure.
Hispanic. Then he became head of a huge agency that had to do with housing
Uh-huh.
for single parent housing. And we went to a benefit that they had the then governor there, and almost all of the tables at the benefit were purchased by Orthodox Jewish landlords, because there is a very, very close connection between the money that goes to the housing of,
Yeah, yeah,
are you getting it? And
yeah.
those guys, and the complaint against Adams was that his kind of real estate advisory board, so to speak, was 90% Orthodox Jewish
Huh.
landlords,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah.
who obviously, and there's been another accusation, not that he knew about it, but that money was bundled by them for his re-election campaign. In other words,
Mm-hmm.
they were bundling from,
Mm-hmm.
individual donors, or they were making individual people who hadn't given, say they'd given $2,500,
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
could give him. I mean, I think that coziness between either the governor or the mayor and the real estate industry, whether they're Orthodox or Jewish or not, the
Mm-hmm.
fact is that is one of the, I think, one of the things that has kept New York from becoming successfully creative, because at the end of the day, there is no, well, both it keeps it from building a middle class, and also from housing for uh, new arrivals and new young arrivals in the city who can contribute to the creative life of the city. And it's that real estate, to me, it's the real estate industry that has the control of that.
I just read so I follow a journalist, a local journalist. Her name's Erica C. Barnett. She does a blog called Publicola. She's reported on really wonky Seattle politics. She reports on the police. She reports on city hall. She's really sharp, and she really gets like, she reports on transit and just city planning, on like really the details on like, and she sees the big picture and the long view of things. Um, yeah, no, I really like her. She's been really reporting about how all this back to work, back to work, back to work. Workers in offices are not going to revitalize downtown. It's creatives. It's you need to make these places welcome for you. It is in fact the collapse of the commercial real estate market that will bring. They will be converted to housing. That housing will bring in artists and students, and it's that is what revitalizes a neighborhood, and then that brings in, well, the gentrification that then
Yeah,
builds
yeah,
up the
yeah.
neighborhood. But it starts with the new arrivals, the artist class, the
Yeah,
creative class, the student class,
it's a cycle, and it
and
sometimes takes 50 years or 20 or 100 years, but
it's natural and it's organic, and it doesn't
yes,
start by forcing workers into offices 3 days a week when that doesn't make really actually a difference for a business. That if you have a downtown sandwich shop, someone forcing their workers 3 days a week when they don't even want to be there, so they're actually only coming in for the 6 hours, not the full 8 hours, and they're bringing their own lunch or they're skipping lunch or whatever. That's not going to save your sandwich shop, because again, they're not even there enough days a week to, there aren't, it's all.
yeah, I would agree with that 100%. The cost, the conversion cost is pretty big because, at least as was explained to me,
Oh,
the buildings, the office buildings, are now mostly open plan,
yes.
and most building requirements are the bedrooms have to have windows. So
Oh, yes. Okay. No, no, no.
so
Yes. No, this is
you
yeah, yeah, yeah. No. Okay. But there are a lot of ways around this, and those spaces in the middle don't have to be, and some of them don't have to all be apartments. And so you can make mixed use building where, for instance, there are libraries and post offices,
yeah, yeah,
and those
yeah,
things can all be
yeah,
still within the
or
or
gyms,
gyms or yeah no no and amenities and stores.
yeah,
You can put
amenities,
retail inside, you can put a
yeah,
shopping mall, and then the apartments are on the outside where the windows have. There are
yeah.
lots of ways to do this, and yeah, no, there people have thought it. No, you're right, that is a zoning thing. And also you can rezone. It takes
Well,
politicians
of
can just
course, yeah.
rezone, and people can choose to. People live in basement apartments all over the place with no windows. People can choose to live, people, you can rezone. And so yeah, so I mean it's yeah. um all right, the other one, well, while we wood fired pizza ovens. I mean, again, have the liberals gone too far? Oh, in New York they're saying this is what
Oh yeah, I heard about this. I forgot. Somebody told me. I think Victoria told me
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
they're banning them.
Well, will they? I mean, is that? I mean, so here's my whole thing with this. As soon as the right latched onto this, as far as like all their little, well, sometimes it's not so little. My first thing was they will not ever absolutely go for commercial ovens. They won't go for businesses. But they're talking about banning commercial pizza ovens in New York City, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe they are.
Because they're environmentally unsafe.
Okay, so here's the thing: is we're talking about hundreds of thousands of cases of asthma of children, like, and this is mostly from ovens in people's homes, not from pizza ovens in New York City. But again, yes, basically all gas powered everything is bad for us and the earth, and we need to get rid of it sooner rather than later.
Oh, because they use gas.
Yeah, it's because
I
yeah,
thought they burned wood.
no, but well, no, yes, no, wood and coal. Again, all of it. It's the particulates that it burns off.
Oh, I see.
Well, no, yeah, okay. I guess I am conflating two things. It's gas stoves, which nationally there is a debate about banning that Republicans have latched onto. Wood and coal fired pizza oven, specifically in New York, is something that yeah I read about, but again the right wing are like up in arms. But I'm surprised. I'm surprised because that's a commercial enterprise, and we're talking about businesses, and I'm yes, there is a health factor, but you're not banning barbecues.
Yeah,
People on
but
Long Island are still going to barbecue.
the health factor, if you got no pizza in New York, you have a serious health
That's the
problem.
health factor. No, no,
And
I know. And that's the
then you're
economic
not feeding half of the city lives
lives
off
on.
pizza.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, yeah.
So you and the kids too, especially kids. Also, New York would smell different. It wouldn't smell right without any pizza.
But then would they all just immediately convert to the different kind of oven, and the pizza would taste slightly different, but people would live. But no, but then New York wouldn't have the best pizza in the world. I don't know. Whatever. I'm trying to let that one go. Um,
I don't. First of all, I think you would have an uprising.
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like
And
I
I
don't.
think you'd probably have a coalition of both the rich and the poor on the wood burning pizza issue. They
I don't
might.
think you could do it. Yeah, no, we'll see where that goes, but I was surprised to read about that one. Okay, some updates. I guess Ringo Starr is on board the new Beatles song.
Oh, I haven't followed
I
that. You mean
still, so
you mean
he
a
sounded, what?
new song of with the four Beatles?
Well, with the four Beatles, I guess using pre-recorded tracks, but also using AI to complete it. He sounded like he was pretty fiery before and calling it fake, but now he sounds like he's on board, and I'm like, okay, how much money did they give you?
Well, yes.
Blink twice if you're okay, Ringo. Like, cause he's so on board that I'm like, I'm a little worried. And but again, I'm not. Well, I was skeptical about Beatles number ones, which was that first album of compilations that they made after the Beatles, after one of them had died. Like I'm a purist of like Beatles albums are the one they made when they were all alive and agreed on it, but
Well, yeah, it stopped. I mean, the Beatles stopped at a certain point, right? I mean, they broke up, and that was it. So if some of them want to go off, I mean, I love the Traveling Wilburys. I like George
oh yeah,
Harrison.
yeah, yeah.
I like some of Paul McCartney Wings.
Yes,
But that's not the Beatles.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And right. Um
you AI is not time travel. I mean,
okay.
whatever it can
No,
do.
yeah. Okay. There's a song by a rapper called MC Lars, which is called Sublime with Rome is not Sublime, which is Sublime was the name of a band, and then Sublime with Rome is the designation of Sublime, but now that their lead singer is gone, but they have a new singer. In the same way that Queen still tours, it's called Queen with Adam Lambert. That's officially the name of the band. So Queen won many Grammys and things, but Queen with Adam Lambert is the name of a band who have won Grammys on their own long after Freddie Mercury's passing. I agree, it's not the same, but is it okay? I think it's okay for surviving members to go on if they designate clearly this is not the same
Yes,
thing.
yes, I do. I
Yeah, yeah.
do.
The
If they
Dead and
designate,
Company isn't the Grateful Dead, but it's people from that sphere who are still around and
the
on
Grateful
tour.
Dead, most of us are dead, but here's so and so who still.
The dead who are still alive is a pretty depressing name, but
Or we're not dead yet.
we're
We're
not dead
dead,
yet.
but we're not dead yet.
Well, the surviving member of the Ramones toured as the Remains, which is
No.
that's pretty
Oh,
distasteful.
that's
Yeah,
awful. That
yeah,
is
no,
so tasteless.
yeah,
Really?
but it's punk. So what are you gonna
I
expect?
guess. Yeah.
Um, um, yeah. Yeah, and speaking of, if we go full circle, Nirvana has never reunited, obviously, without Kurt Cobain. But the one time they did, Paul McCartney performed the vocals. So, I mean, if anyone, Sir Paul would be the one to.
He did the Kurt Cobain
He
vocals.
did for some special
What
thing.
did it sound like? I mean,
You can look it up on YouTube. It sounded fine. I mean, it's not Nirvana. I mean, it's not
God,
Kurt. I mean, it's
Kurt Cobain coming live from Liverpool. Yes. Uh,
yeah.
well, I don't know. I mean, is that Doors organist still around?
Oh,
Nick
yes. No,
Manzarak
he's
originally was?
great. Yeah, Ronnie. Yeah, no, yes. And he does tons of stuff. Yeah. And he'll do like Weird Al Doors parodies. Like he'll do any kind of like, oh yeah, no, I can just do a little Light My Fire riff. I can just like, yeah, no, like I just, yeah. He'll
He's
totally
up for it. He's up for it. In other
He's
words.
up for it. No, he's up for it. He's fine. Yeah, no, he's good. He's good. Okay, so we were talking about affirmative action. Three groups have now sued. We'll see if it goes all the way to. I think the U.S. Department of whatever for no about around legacies, around specifically around legacy.
Yeah, I followed that a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, because what's the diff? What's the difference? I mean,
and it
it's
really, I mean,
simple
it really,
affirmative
I mean,
action, right?
and the thing, and even athletics, which people very racistly associate with certain races or whatnot, overwhelmingly benefits white people. White athletic admissions and legacy admissions, which are the two types of biased
Yes,
admissions that are still allowed, very much benefit white people. And so yeah, I mean it well. I think it's fine. Like I said, I'm torn on the concept of uh, 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 affirmative action. I feel yeah. I don't even like saying it. It makes me in my own field, in my own job, especially where I work and I have a specialty around diversity, equity, and inclusion. Whether or not I was hired, I mean, in some senses, parts of my job, certain jobs that I have, when I was sat on the racial equity committee, it was because of my identity. Part of my identity was part of why I was hired, and that's explicit. But knowing that, I mean, it's yeah, I don't there are all the other times where I was hired throughout my career. I don't know, despite the fact that I'm black, because I'm black, but I don't look black, so
You
I'm not.
don't know. You'll
You
never know.
and you never know. So I'm okay.
And also the people who were doing the hiring didn't necessarily know either. They were looking at a person, all of the person,
Mhm.
right? They're looking.
So I mean I'm okay with the concept going away. Um, it's interesting. I saw an article then though, but with that now, what are conservatives going to latch onto as their uh, yeah, I don't know. Um,
Well, yeah. What are they? What I mean, okay, this really disturbed me because I didn't realize it had gone this far. There are um, there are now an increasing number of what I consider to be perfectly ordinary plays that schools are now afraid of putting
Oh,
on.
yeah. Oh, no, no. Yes. Okay. So, no, this is easy for me. And this is okay. So, first of all, let's start at the top. They hate schools. They don't want schools. They hate public school. Public school is socialism. They want vouchers. They want homeschooling. So, when I say they, I'm talking about a small minority, but that
Yeah,
minority ripples out into other people who amplify their message without necessarily knowing what they're amplifying. They also obviously, well, hate the arts more specifically, gay people more specifically, blah, blah, blah. Theater departments are a perfect target. First of all, theater kids, I mean, it's a bit of bastion of safety for gay kids. So let's just start there. Doesn't even matter what the play is. Let them do Jesus Christ Superstar. So, first of all the things about how the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence in LA, or that one drag queen whose name is a riff on Jesus Christ, how it's offensive. Do you remember Striper, the Christian metal band from the 90s?
yeah,
He
yeah.
wore no shirt, a bondage vest, like a leather daddy bondage vest, and a priest collar. And this was
Yeah.
a Christian metal band, and they are okay with that because I mean,
But now they're not okay with As You Like It because Rosalind dressed as a boy. So Shakespeare is promotes transsexuality
and
and
well,
I mean,
okay, here's a weird. Well, here's where it gets really uncomfortable for me. Theater, and especially like Christian schools where they do have the boys playing girls. Okay, the tradition of men playing women, going back to Shakespearean times, and yes, first of all, is rooted in misogyny, and let's address
yeah,
that
because women weren't allowed
because
to.
women weren't allowed. Second
Yeah.
of all, it evolved into what vaudevillian and what to this day gets defended as men playing women for comedy, which I don't like. And that's not theater to me. I mean, that is theater. I mean, there is
That's slapstick. That's
that
slapstick.
slapstick. And, well, yeah, I mean, in America, it mostly died out. But in Britain, I mean, all the way through Monty Python, Benny Hill, that goes on.
Well,
And
it's pantomime. It was a Christmas
it's
tradition.
still well no that's a little bit different though. That was more sincere. That was more.
Well,
I mean,
you
again,
always had a man playing a crazy old woman,
there again though. Yeah,
which
there's so
became Dame Edna.
right, which became Dame Edna, which to me is very endearing. Which is Dame Edna is done with love. Dame Edna is fine. I mean, again, there. Theater is, can gay, the whole thing, should straight actors play gay people? Yes, I do think theater is theater. I don't think people should play trans race. I think people should play their own race, but I do think if you can get a disabled actor for a disabled part, you can. But
Yeah,
but it's
absolutely.
also okay for a non-disabled actor to play a disabled part. I think it's okay. Acting is acting, and I get that. I think it's okay for a straight actor to play a gay part, but I think you should prioritize getting a gay actor because there aren't even enough gay actors. So here, well, it was a gay actor who pointed out gay actors don't have the luxury of only playing gay parts because there aren't enough gay parts. So if gay actors can play straight parts, and of course straight actors should be allowed to play gay parts, but again, you should prioritize gay actors getting those roles. And then fat suits should go away. I think you should get fat actors for fat parts. I don't like fat suits. I don't know. I mean, it all. This, yeah,
Yeah,
no.
fat suits you would think are unnecessary, right? I mean,
Well, I mean, didn't but Brendan? I know I love Brendan Fraser, but he's still he. And then no, actually, the thing I like even less than fat suits are actors, and even actors I like Hugh Jackman. Whether it's buffing up for a role or
Oh,
eating a lot for a role, I don't abuse your body. I think you're role
oh.
models. Let them
Well, they don't have to because they got CGI
let
now.
CGI do it. Yeah, let CGI do it, and or use actors whose body types fit the roles, and then you do. I don't know, like don't. Yeah, I don't know. I have these. Well, I guess that doesn't work for superhero. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but soon you'll have movies with dead people in them,
I
where the
know, and I mean,
Beatles.
well, Bruce Willis, while he could still legally sign things, signed away his rights, and there are already AI Bruce Willis ads running in other countries for watches and beer or whatever. Like
Oh, really?
young Bruce Willis and his
What
family.
what what age did he sell himself at?
I think it's well, no, I think they get to generate, they get the choice.
Oh,
But I
okay.
mean, I'm sure it's a licensing deal, so I'm sure there are specifics. I don't know it, but he signed off on it. His family signed off on it. I'm fine with it. I mean, and his medical care is gonna so let them make money.
It's his life, right?
It's
I
his
mean,
life, and yeah.
yeah.
I
Oh,
don't know. Next Saturday, I'm gonna be at a rally at the Spheres at Amazon, the Amazon Spheres for
oh,
labor
great.
rights. Yeah,
Okay,
so either we can talk early, a different time, or Sunday, or
maybe Sunday. Yeah,
yeah.
maybe
Um,
Sunday.
I mean,
And
that's
you can
kind of a
tell me
big
all
issue.
about it.
Oh, that was the other thing. This week, it's been like the hottest it's ever been on record, day after day after
I
day.
was going to ask you. Yeah,
Yeah, no, and then people in warehouses, people. I mean, Amazon is the big one of the biggest employers of warehouses, one of the biggest employers of truck drivers, and again, people who don't have access to adequate cooling
yeah.
systems and water. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You have air conditioning. You have AC.
I'm fine. No, Seattle. I mean, well, we'll see what
Well,
the
you
next.
open the window. I mean, you have
Yeah,
a breeze, right?
I'm okay, but the problem is on those days. I mean, I lived in Las Vegas, but Las Vegas everywhere has air conditioning, everywhere has misters outdoors. Seattle isn't prepared for it, but here it's usually only just a couple of days. I'm worried,
Right.
like 20 years from now, what will it be like
No, it'll be every day.
when
Yeah.
it will be every day? So no, I'm not worried about this summer, but each year it gets more intense, and that's reality. Are you watching anything? Are you reading
I
anything?
finished watching something called Black Butterflies, which is French, which is about 6 episodes, which is extremely dark. It's very interesting, and it has an extraordinary, and it's all the way through very interesting with great acting. Black Butterfly. I think it was on I think Netflix
Okay, I'll check it out.
or
Yeah,
Prime.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
something about it.
Are you in the city this week?
I am going into the city on Monday. Yeah, I'll be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then yeah.
Okay.
So we'll
Yeah.
have a wonderful week.
You too.
Enjoy your. Is it a protest on
Yeah, it is
Saturday?
a protest. Yeah. A
Okay,
protest. Yeah.
we'll
All right.
talk Sunday then.
Okay.
Okay,
I love you.
love
Bye.
you. Bye.